Welcome to the Halftime Show, your world of sports in half the time. I'm Meghan Macioce.
And I'm Ellyn Stanton.
And today we have a complete NHL All-Star Game recap for you. And let's start off with the skills competition because that has to be everybody's favorite thing to watch before the games. I mean, the games are great, but everyone likes to see who's the best. So let's start off with the fastest skater. And who was the first person to go?
So Kendall Coyne-Schofield led it off, and she did absolutely phenomenal in the fastest skater, only a second behind Connor McDavid, which is absolutely incredible.
I was really excited to see her. I watched her. I was out of town for the weekend, but I got to see her, and I thought it was incredible. All the guys had amazing reactions to it, too. I think they were just as shocked as what everybody else was at home that was watching it, especially since I feel like the women's team's been going through a lot since they won the gold medal with trying to get even pay, or at least fair pay, somewhat closer to the guys than what they already have. But for the most part, I think she really showed why the women are a force to be reckoned with and why they should be paid.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she said it best herself. She was really breaking barriers competing in this All-Star game. It was actually Nathan McKinnon who had a bruised foot who could not compete, tweeted at Kendall Coyne-Schofield saying that he wanted her to replace him. She went in and she actually was faster than Clayton Keller of the Arizona Coyotes.
That's absolutely incredible. Like, I'm really happy that at least the guys are taking initiative to definitely have the girls in it. But moving past that, another one that's really fun is the pass skills one.
Yeah, it absolutely is a fun one to watch. Really hard if you watch it, all the things they have to go through. But it's Brianna Decker, another USA women's hockey player who also won gold with Kendall Coyne-Schofield, who actually beat all the guys by 3 seconds in her time. And CCM was great, too, in keeping with their agreement and giving her $25,000.
I think it's fantastic because if the girls are just as good as the guys, why not let them show off their skills, especially since there's not like a women's NHL. They kind of have to wait until these big tournaments come around. But then finally, the accuracy shooting, really thought Chris Letang was going to do better. I mean, he still finished second, but I don't know. I expected a lot more from him. But what did you see from it?
Yeah, I definitely was a little bit surprised about Letang. As you see in games, he's always very accurate. But it was actually David Pastrnak who beat everyone by a second, too. So he was pretty fast in that accuracy shooting.
I was really expecting, if not Letang, because we see him all the time, like how great he is, especially in the top shelf. But I was really anticipating Austin Matthews to do better than what he did. But I kind of feel like that was a crowd letdown.
I agree. I was actually thinking the same thing today because he really had a time above everyone else's. I think maybe putting Marlowe's jersey on, he was a little bit too nervous with the crowd going crazy for Matthews in that show.
I definitely agree. But moving past into the All-Star game, the Metro versus the Atlantic, they kind of hung in there for a little bit, and I was like, oh no, are we going to lose to them? But Sidney Crosby, our captain, I mean, what did you see in that game? It was fabulous.
Yeah, all around, Crosby did a great showing in the All-Star game. Winning MVP, as we know, but just showing off his skills. I mean, he was ill during the All-Star skills competition, but did not look at it all during the game.
No, he ended up registering, I think it was 3 points. He did fantastic. Letang as well, and Crosby ended up winning the All-Star MVP award, which that's always great. He can just add that to his trophy case. But another game that was surprisingly very bad was the Pacific game, when they just absolutely destroyed 10-1. I did not see that coming.
No, I absolutely did not either. I think, as we talked about earlier, I think the goalies kind of had a bad showing, especially those Pacific goalies with Gibson.
Oh yeah, terrible. And I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury did really well. Holtby was not great in the Metro. I definitely think maybe we should have kept Lundqvist in. But I mean, they're all all-stars, so they all deserve to be there. But let's move into the trade deadline. And on a couple days ago, the Pens actually got rid of Oleksiak. And what did you see from that? Why? I'm trying to get in Sullivan's mind and understand, or not Sullivan's, excuse me, Rutherford's mind of why he would do that when I think we don't have a very physical presence on the ice. And Oleksiak was definitely that physical body.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I was very shocked by the trade as well. Obviously, we know looking at the Penguins roster, they do have a lot of defensemen, but like you said, Oleksiak brings such a physical force to the Penguins' blue line, and I think he's such a defensive defenseman, whereas we have a lot of offensive defensemen. I think Oleksiak brought something different, and I really liked his play.
I agree with you, and I really thought if you're going to trade anybody, it would be Broussard because he hasn't fit the system. He's been here almost a year. I understand when he came in, he was hurt, but he just is not finding chemistry on any of the lines with any of the teammates. So when I heard that about Oleksiak, I was shocked and upset just because, like you'd said, we have a lot of offensive, defensive men, and when you put Mata and Letang together, I mean, that's usually when they hang the goalies out to dry to an extent. So I don't know. I really heard Ricola could be on the chopping block, but just like around the league, other big names like Jimmy Howard. I don't know. Who's your biggest person you see that could be traded from any of the teams?
Yeah, I agree with Brassard, as you said. I also think Malkin and Kessel should be talked about. Obviously, they are great players, all-stars in their own right, but honestly, they have not been doing what they should be doing and performing at the level they should be performing at. Also, we saw Toronto's Jake Muzzin the Kings' Jake Muzzin get traded to Toronto, which really builds Toronto's blue line and makes them a scary team to play against.
I agree, especially with the playoff season coming up. I think it's going to be absolutely crazy, and I think we're going to see more trades going on. I mean, the trade deadline's in about 3 weeks, February 25th on a Monday. So stay here with us at the Halftime Show to keep up on all the sports around the world. We'll see you next time.